Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this week's episode. We want to promote where you can see us. For tickets, go to joegattoofficial.com to see all my tour dates. And for Steve's, go to punchup.live/Steve-Byrne. That's Byrne. He makes it super easy to find him. And now, on to the episode.
There was a problem, yo, I'll solve. Word to your mother.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Two Cool Moms. I'm Joe Gatto. And my boy across the way, Stevie Byrne, is here with us. Two Cool Moms is your favorite podcast that you're listening to right now. So, Stevie, I've been seeing this thing that's going on the internet. I need my readers.
Okay. I like your readers, by the way.
Thank you. These are a bundle from Amazon.com. Unisex. And clearly
they look
some
very,
of them are more...
Christopher Reeve, Superman 78. Yeah,
go ahead. Ask me where Superman is.
Excuse me?
Ask me where Superman is.
Where's Superman?
I don't know.
I like the way you palmed your glasses to like a third grader. You think I take him up, buddy?
No, I take him up. So I had seen this thing going around the internet, the World Wide Web.
Of course.
And
Cowabunga, dude. I love surfing.
They said they had like the NCAA brackets of like March Madness and whatnot. So they did that for TV dads, and they put people up against each other.
Okay.
So I thought because of our show, Two Cool Moms, I would put up the 40. We put up a bracket of just who do we think the best moms were, and who's the better mom between two.
Who's the better mom?
Between two fictitious moms. Okay. So for instance, let's say Edith Bunker.
Okay.
Versus Roseanne Barr. In the Roseanne show.
Well, both horrible singers. I think we could agree on that. Roseanne botched the anthem, and Edith Bunker.
But now we're doing it 100%. We're just doing it on their skills we know from TV as a mother.
On their skills. Oh, boy.
Their mother.
I would have to say, well, Roseanne was more of a blue-collar kind of like cut to the... Edith was more of a pushover.
Yep.
With Archie, but she had a ton of heart, and she'd set him straight at the end.
Sure.
I would say Roseanne, she's more of a blunt force instrument as opposed to Edith, who has the patience. That's what what are your thoughts?
I would 100% say that.
Really?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Edith was kind of just like, Edith did a big like mommy, like making sure everybody was fed and doing things like that too, though. So I think she gets mom points there.
Yeah.
But overall, I think... Roseanne was in the trenches in the Roseanne show, right? She was rough and tumble, trying to solve family problems, not having a lot of money, doing all this, what she had to. So I think I would go. I think I agree.
By the way, fun fact: my folks bought Edith Bunker's apartment from her in New York City when they moved to New York in '95, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
So when my father's in native New York, and when he moved back, that's the young lady, or I shouldn't say young lady, but who he bought the apartment from. So when we were there, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Would you say Peg Bundy or Marge Simpson?
Well, first off, Peg Bundy, when we were in junior high school or high school and Peg Bundy was out, it's like, oh my God. Al, what are you doing? You're complaining about having sex with her? She's like, awesome. Peg Bundy, look, Peg Bundy 100%. I love her. I think Katie Seagal. Look, I'm not okay. Yeah, I'm sticking the script. Peg Bundy's hot. Can I just say that?
You're allowed
Peg
to.
Bundy back in the day was hot. I think she's still a very beautiful actress, but I think Peg Bundy back in the day was hot.
Now,
hilarious, and at the same time, like very selfish, which I like.
Okay.
Yeah, Marge is
more of a mom, though.
Marge
right?
is a mom. Yeah, I'd have to say who's the better mom.
Yeah,
probably Marge, but. In terms of just like being a pervy like
that's
high school
not the
kid,
game. You're playing your own game here.
How about like MILFs? Should we do a MILF category?
We do a MILF category?
Mom, I'd like to. Okay. The better mom would be Marge Simpson.
Marge Simpson.
What are your thoughts on it?
I think Peggy is like kind of a Roseanne kind of vibe where she was just trying to get through what she had to get through to help. I do find that she was more motherly. They mostly poked fun in the show about her being
a horrible mom.
Like a horrible mom. But at the end of the day, I think it was more. She was more like her and her husband. It was the dynamic between her and Al.
Yeah.
That was more the butt of the jokes than her and her kids.
Yeah.
I do think there was love there too, but yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think she wins.
Peg Bundy though,
Yeah.
she looked out. She always had heels on.
She did always have.
She had
heels.
like those
She was
yoga.
put together.
Yeah.
She had yoga pants. Before
Not
they were
yoga pants, but like capris or whatever.
Yep.
But they were tight.
Yeah. Okay. Should we leave you alone for a minute?
You didn't think Peg Bundy? You didn't kind of have a crush on Peg Bundy?
Oh
when you
yeah,
were a
I
kid?
did for sure.
Her and what was
Christine
the daughter's-
Applegate. Yeah.
Yeah, Christina Applegate. But what was her name? I
I
forget. But anyways, they were both hot.
Yeah.
The Bundy household.
The
was
Bundy
pretty
household
rockin'.
overall. Bud could get it. Bud the son was hot too.
Even the dog.
That wasn't the dog's name. Did they have a dog?
They had a dog, and the dog would always had like voiceovers.
Oh, that's right. That
and
was
he
really
sit on his
funny.
little doggy mat.
All right. How about Morticia Adams or June Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver?
I bang either of them.
I think you've lost focus on the game. They're both in black and white.
Yeah.
Hot.
Morticia was pretty hot though.
Yeah.
She was hot. Look, June Cleaver, that's all American.
Oh,
So, yes, 100%. Who's the better mom? June Cleaver. Leave It to Beaver. 100%.
Okay.
Great. Paint by the numbers, meat and potatoes, fun, easy family sitcom. But Addams Family, Morticia Addams was way hotter.
Okay.
Way hotter. Not as good of a mom. But what are your thoughts?
She raised a weird family pretty well.
I mean, there's a hand in that. There's
You're
a
welcome.
hand.
She literally got a hand in the house. Yeah, I don't know. I think I go Morticia.
Yeah.
I think I would. Yeah, I think it'd be a fun one.
I go Morticia Addams.
2 snaps.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? How about this is gonna be a tough one here. Ready? Carmela Soprano or Mrs. Brady?
Wow.
Now,
mean,
who's the better mom?
I mean, I have to say Mrs. Brady. I'd have to say Mrs. Brady.
We disagree here.
You disagree?
I think Carmela was doing nothing but insulating her family from the shit show that was going on around them.
Sure, but Mrs. Brady had how many kids?
3, and then she found the other guy, and there was 6 together.
6
Yeah.
kids?
But she brought in Alice, who was doing some of the mom
Helping
duties.
hand.
Yeah, she had helping
Yeah.
hands. I don't know. I think Carmela Soprano's tough to beat. Shout out to Edie Falco. I love her.
Yeah, I think I think your Italian bloodline is pouring into this, and so there might be some favoritism here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But, they were a fictitious Italian mob family that lived in New Jersey. You lived in Jersey.
I lived in Jersey
So-
for a minute for sure. Yeah, boy, that's a tough one. But
I mean, you don't think Carmela as a mom was trying to do like more?
you're probably right.
Leading them down
she
the
was
right path.
dealing with. I mean, you couldn't find a bigger pendulum swing than a '70s sitcom to one of the most gritty, popular shows of all time,
Right.
with uber violence, drugs, sex, all of it. I mean, it's so like that's crazy. Yeah, I'd have to say Carmela Soprano.
Okay. Maria Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay.
And from Happy Days, Mrs. Cunningham.
Oh, I love Mrs. Cunningham.
I love Mrs. Cunningham. I think for me, that's the mom's mom of America, right?
She-
Mrs. Cunningham was
Just the best.
the best.
The best. And so was Mr. Cunningham, by the way.
The Cunninghams overall were a home
America's
family. America's family.
Yeah.
They had this daughter. What was her name? Chachi loves Joni.
Joni.
Yeah, Joni, right?
Joni, by the way, never cared for Joni.
Really?
Did you like Joni?
You were Team Chachi?
Team Chachi. by the way.
Joni kind of fell through the cracks for me in Happy Days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, so was Richie, but then you learn older, like Richie's there to service all the other characters.
100%. Yeah.
He's just there to be kind of like the guy that sets everything up.
Right.
He's the Dean Martin to the Jerry
Jerry
Lewis that
Lewis,
is
yeah.
Potsy,
Yeah.
Fonz,
The-
Al, Ralph
Works
Malph.
its way down. Yeah.
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 Happy Days was my jam when I was a kid.
Happy Days, one of your faves?
Absolutely love it.
One of the most successful spin-offs ever was Laverne and Shirley from that show.
Yes.
Yeah, which a lot of people don't know that. But that was like...
And a spin-off of that, Mork and Mindy.
Are you making that up?
Oh, spin-off of Happy Days was Mork and Mindy.
Really?
Yeah, because Gary Marshall, the producer,
Yeah.
his son was into Aliens at the time because of one of Spielberg, I think it was Close Encounters or something like that. And so his son said, "You have to have an alien on the show." He goes, "Okay." So they had Robin Williams come in, and Robin Williams did a guest appearance. And it was so popular, and it was the biggest comic that they put Mork and Mindy
That
on.
I did not know.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, Laverne and Shirley, the big ragu,
Yeah, the big ragu.
loved him.
Yeah, they. That's insane that there was 2 huge spin-offs from one show, which was a juggernaut itself. That's a
And
huge.
Joni Loves Chachi.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jody Loves Chachi from there
Great.
too.
Yeah. By the way, one of my favorite jokes, Lisa Lampanelli had a great joke. She's like, what was that sitcom where these kids were in high school? It's like Wisconsin. They hang out with a guy in a cool leather jacket. And it's just all white people. Just all whites. And there was not one black person on that show. What was that called? Oh, Happy Days. So ridiculous. But I will tell you, my favorite sitcom when I was a kid, UHF. Remember, you'd have your normal
switch over,
3.
yep.
UHF 53 in Pittsburgh. What's happening?
What's happening? Yeah, for sure. That's one with Rerun?
With Rerun.
Yeah, the best.
Dwayne Wayne.
Dwayne Wayne.
And then Raj.
Oh, Raj,
And they
I
went
love
to Shirley was their waitress.
Waitress, yeah.
I watched What's Happened all the time.
time?
Remember the Doobie Brothers? Do you remember they were on this show?
I don't remember that now.
And then I think it was Rerun that went and like recorded them and bootlegged it.
Uh-huh.
And the Doobie Brothers got into a big thing with them.
Oh no.
That was
Fun one.
good times. Good times.
Good
was one
times.
of my favorites too.
I had the Jeffersons I loved growing up too, but I had watched. My mom wouldn't let me watch Three's Company.
Oh, all the sexual innuendo
Yeah,
stuff.
she wouldn't let me watch that, so I hadn't seen that. And
Jack
then,
Tripper, nobody better than him.
and then Jack Tripper, who's such amazing physical comedian.
John Ritter, yeah.
John Ritter, who I completely see, and when I was older and able to watch him, and
Yeah.
I was loved. So I can't even imagine if I was exposed to a younger age what he was doing. But yeah, there was one show that I was like I wasn't allowed to watch. But but then I was allowed to watch Bosom Buddies. Did you remember that one with Tom
course.
Hanks? Yeah,
Of course.
and
Too Close for Comfort. Do you
yeah.
remember that one?
No.
The 3 daughters and
Oh, what? Oh no, I'm thinking about the one with the robot daughter. What is that?
Small Wonder. Small Wonder was great too. Silver Spoons was the shit.
Yeah,
though.
Silver Spoon is the best.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they
to have
had
a
the
train
in
go
the
through your house.
Yeah, train.
And
in
his
the house.
dad ran a toy company.
That's phenomenal.
And Erin Gray from Buck Rogers, who is the hottest woman on the face of the planet to this day, was. Do you remember her?
No, not as much as you do.
Oh my God. I had 2 crushes when I was a kid. It
Peg
was
Bundy.
Erin- Well, Peg Bundy was more like high school, but when I was a kid, I loved Erin Gray from Buck Rogers, and then I followed her to Silver Spoons. And then,
That sounded creepy as shit.
and then Mrs. Huxtable. I had a big crush on Miss Huxtable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felicia Rashad.
Sure, Felicia
Yeah.
Rashad, yeah.
I thought, like, when I was a kid, I was like, God, she's like so hot.
I will say she was probably one of the best TV moms. She was up there for
100%.
sure.
And you know, it was a great TV dad.
Hmm.
You can't say his name anymore, though.
Who?
Cuz, the Cuz.
Cosby? You can't say his name?
Yeah, you
As a
can't.
TV dad? As a fictional character? Sure.
Yeah, dude, he was America's dad
For a
for
long
how
time.
many years?
Yeah. I will say probably when we were coming up, yeah, that was a show for us. But another big TV, the biggest TV dad for me was probably the Wonder Years.
Dan Lauria.
Dan Lauria,
Yeah.
right? He was like such a working for his family, kind of, they feared him in the right amount of way.
Yeah.
I think he did great. And you befriended Dan, right, through your show.
He
So
became my TV dad, which is so odd to like think if you would have told me that TV dad one day is going to be your TV
Yeah.
dad. Like, there's
All
no way. Are you
amazing,
crazy? He could not be more nice than,
Yeah.
just the nicest guy. I think you guys met him.
I
Didn't you
did,
guys?
yeah.
You guys came to the set
briefly
once or
on
twice.
side, yeah. Also a DILF. Dan Lauria could get it.
But
he
former
was,
Marine.
But I will say, like, he was like, we met him for a little bit, but super nice. But he just exudes dad vibes on
100%,
thing.
yeah.
He was great. You know who's a forgettable? You know who also was like kind of trying to be kind of with that cusp. Like you had that Dan Lauria character who was that kind of dad, but then when you go across and you remember like Alan Thicke and Growing Pains,
Yeah.
he started to become like try to be like the cool dad.
yeah.
Like that was one of the first dads I remember being like, he's not acting very dad. He was like trying to
pretty
be
cool.
He was cool for sure, but he was like cool with his kids in a different way. Like the
Yeah.
relationship between him, it was and his kids was a little different.
Home Improvement. Tim Allen was a great
Allen's the
dad.
best. So
That was a great dad.
He was a great dad for sure. For sure. I loved that show. That show was great.
Perfect Strangers.
You weren't a dad on TV.
I'm sorry?
You weren't a dad on TV. Sullivan's Son didn't have a
I
kid.
wasn't a dad on TV. I got offered a show that was on Disney or Netflix, and my wife would have been Tiffany Amber Thiessen, and my manager said, "You can't do this because they're not paying you your rate." I was like, "Well, I'm not doing it and I was like, "Wait, what? Hold on, like Tiffany Amber Thiessen, I get to be like married to her? That'd be awesome.
I'll pay them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But Urkel,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite sitcoms of all time.
Oh yeah, Family Matters.
It's on HBO Max, or I should say Max, and I got my kids watching it now.
Oh, do you?
And
You've heard the fan theory.
Carl.
Yeah, by Carl. You've heard the fan theory about how Carl that happens after Die Hard.
Retired
right?
after Die Hard.
Retired after Die Hard because he talks about an incident that he had. Yeah, is that funny? Yeah, that's why he retired.
But nobody, I think, like that's what I miss about like the classic sitcom. There were so many great physical. To your point, like John Ritter was a great physical actor. Jaleel White's. I mean, he's got to be in the top 5 greatest physical actors on a sitcom ever.
And at a young age too. Oh yeah, yeah.
Those two, Balky and Cousin Larry, Bronson Pinchot, and then I forget the other gentleman. But those guys, that ABC block, what was it, Friday night thing?
Friday night thing, yeah.
I forget what they called it, but man, I loved staying home and watching those.
It was great. Did you ever see the blooper or outtake or the end credit scene of whatever it was of Family Matters? When Uncle
where
Phil comes over,
the Fresh Prince.
Yes, that was unreal. That's so.
That
cool.
was cool.
That they could do stuff like that was super cool too. They just did. They don't do crossovers as much as you would like anymore. But I just saw that Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
did one because they're both set in Philadelphia, which is so weird because they're like such different vibes. But that's pretty cool that they're doing stuff like that. I wish there was so much more of that.
It's a shame because TV's not communal anymore,
Yeah.
right? We all used to gather around the fireplace,
Yeah.
and there were only so many shows, and now there's a multitude of so many. It's too much, and so you could never.
It'd be hard to do
it's
that.
Such a bummer.
Yeah,
because I don't know. Even like we're saying it now, like I know the theme songs. It's like I remember specific episodes, and
core memory stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to have that, but not these kids these days.
Nope.
Streaming.
What are they watching?
TikTok.
These stupid TikToks. Scrolly dolly.
YouTube.
You got the tube
Mr.
views.
Beast.
Yeah, Beast Misters.
Yeah.
Stupid. Senor Beast. Is that his name, Mr. Beast? Yeah. Well, you know what? We're here for them, and now they could listen to podcasts. And that's what the new
What is your favorite childhood sitcom of all time before we move on?
I mean, I remember watching most of the Golden Girls. I loved the Golden Girls.
Oh boy.
Golden Girls was great.
That's another just a gem.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great one.
For sure.
Theme song, fantastic.
I mean,
chemistry.
The one-liners, the writing, the all of it. I think.
And
that
then
was a
hearing,
home
like, do you remember the first time you heard Estelle Getty was younger than B. Arthur? You're like,
wait,
what?
Your mind is blown. Unbelievable. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, super sweet. I love that show. I think that was one of the ones I remember watching a lot and laughing. But then as I grew up in entertainment, like realizing what a cool show, like how well it was produced, and like the writing was so smart, and the idea of the dynamic, like the idea of that show is so like such a cool idea. And then when we started touring as the Jokers, we used to finish the show with singing "Thank You for Being a Friend" with the crowd. And I remember some of my most favorite memories was just sitting in these stadiums and like arenas and just having people sing along with it. I thought that was really cool. So, Golden Girls for me, baby.
Golden Girls.
How about you?
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh yeah, another
Cheers is my favorite. And to think, like, when I was a kid, I'm watching a show about a bunch of adults in a bar. Like, what do I have as a child to relate to?
Right.
And it was just the dynamic of just all these misfits coming in to hang out, and no one really has love. No one really has a solid relationship. And they just had each other and that camaraderie. And the writing was fantastic. And the dynamic between Sam and Diane, and then Sam and Kirstie Alley was just like, I don't know. I absolutely love that show.
Did you ever see the string out of Norm's entrances?
It's
so great.
Really?
It's like a 17
because he always had
clip.
a line coming
and the guy
in.
Norm, how's it going? Well, it's still going. Like things like that. Like all of them. There's like a 17-minute clip from like his whole.
Wow, that's great. My favorite episode is where Sam gets locked out, and he has to go to everybody's. It's one of the only episodes
doesn't
that's
end
not in
the
the bar.
Oh, wow.
And he has to go to everybody's house.
That's such a great idea.
And so you get to see a reflection of who everybody is.
Could you imagine pitching that idea? That writer had to be stoked. That's such a great idea for that show.
Great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Cliff was on Jeopardy, that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still look back on the fact that I got to work with Rob Long on Sullivan and Son, and over lunch breaks, I would always ask him, "Please tell me about like Cheers and what happened." So was Woody like really like was he cool and stuff? And just hearing all those stories, and I don't know, even like there were times where when we were doing it, I was watching Cheers like on my own to be like, oh, I'm going to be inspired and stuff. And I saw like Rob recycling old jokes from Cheers into Sullivan, and I was like, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty sweet.
Little reboot. Cool.
Okay, so what were the top three? Since this is Two Cool Moms, this just came out. What were the top three TV moms of all time?
The number 3 was the mom from the Partridge Family, which I don't know her name. I didn't know that
Really?
show. Number 2 was Claire Huxtable. And number 1 was Mrs. Brady.
Mrs. Brady was number one of all
She
time.
beat everybody, yeah. So that's what the internet says on that specific site. I don't know if
Who
anybody
was
disagrees.
polled for this, by the way? People 60 and up? Like the Partridge Family?
Yeah.
Well,
that's when moms were like mom, right? That was like back in the day. It was like
Yeah.
they're in the kitchen making the apple pies and bullshit, you know? Not
But
the
like-
Modern Family mom, you know, she's out there like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Claire from
it's
Modern
true, it's
Family
like-
is
It's like, could you even name 5 TV moms of the last 10 years? I would
not animated. No, I mean,
I would have no idea.
I can name, you know, the moms from Modern Family, the 2 moms, right? You have Claire.
Never
and-
saw it.
You never saw Modern Family?
Yeah.
So that's one of the shows that has a mom. I honestly don't think I could name many moms besides the mom from Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
right? And then your mom. Ha! Burn. All right, let's get into the questions. Thank you for submitting
Let's
the
do
2
it.
cool moms, and we got some. We're gonna give some advice here and help people out.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right, this one is pretty relevant to what we were just talking about. So Mary says,
I married this guy. He has 3 children. I have 3. We have a housekeeper. What should we do?
how do I know if I'm being a good enough mom to my daughters? They're my entire world and I can't afford to stay home with them, and I feel so guilty about going to work every day and taking them to daycare. I keep questioning if I made the wrong life choices that wound me up not being able to stay at home with them. There's a 1-year-old and almost 3-year-old.
I think the answer isn't going to be now. I think the answer is going to be 18, 19, or 20 years from now, because all that work, all the sacrifice you're doing now, they're too young to acknowledge it. But there will come a time when
They'll recognize your sacrifice.
it hits them and they go, oh my God, she's breaking her back so we can have school supplies, so we could go to summer camp, so we could do all these things. So I wouldn't put that onus on you now.
Yeah.
I would just keep doing what you're doing. And the fact that she's even thinking about this tells you everything, right?
Yeah, that she's thinking. I mean, we're 2 traveling dads. We spend
Yeah.
some time away from our kids, I think. And, you know, it's all we talk about, like focus and balance all the time. I just think as long as you're trying to spend as best time you can with them while you're with them, that's
Yeah.
what's important. You know, there's going to be, look, at the end of the day, you got to make money, you got to pay the bills. If you don't do that, what are you doing? You find you're sitting with your kids, but you'll be on the street with
Right,
a
yeah.
cup begging for money. Like, what are you going to do? You have to do what you have to do here to get through. So I would say try to find a happy balance that you could go. And I realized this later, unfortunately, like a little bit too late, but in my relationships with it was if you could get a lot out of a little. It doesn't have to be these grand gestures where you're always there, blah, blah, blah. But if you're making a moment each day or a couple moments each day where you feel fulfilled that you had a mommy moment or whatever, you get a unsolicited I love you mom hug or a smile or
Yeah.
tickle fight or whatever, those kind of things could fuel what you need. They don't have to be these big grand gestures, and you still could go to work. I mean, that 5 minutes that you're making memories, I started, you know, recapping with my son when we went to bed. What was your favorite part of the day? You know, stuff like that. And they would say these little silly things that took a moment,
Right.
and it makes their whole day. You know, so
She's the epitome of actions speak louder than words.
100%.
Like you're doing all this work. They're going they will get to a point where they're going to know.
Yeah.
And right now, when you're a kid, it's like
If they won, they don't remember shit.
Yeah.
They fucking remember. They don't remember nothing. They barely know who you are. Stupid. They're fucking throwing up on themselves, punching themselves in the face, shitting their own pants.
yeah,
You think they care about you?
there's a reason
don't know.
There's a reason you have to tell them, don't get in a van with strangers.
Yeah.
Because they're
Don't-
so stupid.
When you stop telling the kids to put that in their mouth, that's when you start being like, okay, we're making memories.
Exactly,
You have to
yeah.
stop telling kids to not put something in their mouth. That's when that's the litmus test. It's like, okay, now I got to start putting the time in.
Yeah, you're raising little animals.
Yeah, they're all feral little beasts. That's what they are
Feral
right now.
little
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
But
just remember that.
I do. No, I do think that there is a time to try to bank up and prepare for the future, and it is now where you can just like, it'll be. You'll start getting. I mean, you think it gets hard now. I mean, my son cries when I have to go out of town. Don't go, Dad. I'm like, oh, it's the worst, because
Yeah.
they realize that you're going and leaving. Right now, you're lucky. You could sneak out in the middle of the night and go smoke a cigarette. Nobody could tell you what to do. She's out there on the streets being able to get a puff. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. You're going to miss these days. You're going to miss them is what I'm saying. Clara. What was her name? She didn't have a name. So she didn't even know what her own name
Mary.
is. Mary. Thanks.
Not
That's
even
Mary.
close.
So that's what Clara. Close. Yeah, so I would say you're putting a lot of it on yourself right now, but remember, big picture, you're doing what you got to do for your children. It's not like you're like, hey, I want to be working this
Yeah.
much, So
Yeah, you're 100% doing the right thing.
especially you made a great point. If you're thinking about that, you're a good mom. Like
Yeah.
some moms are just operating and being like they don't even care about missing their children. Like that's a good indicator that you're a good mother.
And that's what makes us so cool.
Mom.
Moms.
Yeah, we're the
All
coolest
right.
moms.
Okay. Peter says, I'm getting married in October in Spain. My partner is Spanish, and I promised her family I would learn Spanish by the time of the wedding. So, mommies, what are some good learning techniques? I have until October.
We did this question already.
You did?
No, I'm just kidding.
Why would you do that to me?
Lo siento, amiga. What I'm saying is,
No me gusta.
no me gusta. I would say I do not know anything about learning a second language. But
I
you
would
are
just
bilingual,
say
right? You speak
work
Korean.
for 6 months at the Home Depot. You'll pick it up pretty quickly. Pretty quickly.
Do you speak Korean?
Nope. I did a little bit. Look, there's all these programs these days, by the way, like Rosetta Stone and all these.
What's the new one? Blabmouth?
Duolingo.
Duolingo. Duolingo is the new one.
Yeah.
It's an app, right? And teach you. Yeah, you can do an app. So get on Duolingo. This
Yeah.
could have been a Google search. I don't know why you took the time to write into us, two English-speaking only people. This is
I'm
a
half
wrong.
Asian.
I know, but
Yeah.
you don't speak it.
Yeah. Why even ask
I know.
me?
I know. It's very true. Very true.
Yeah, you want to learn Spanish? It's like
Here
the
it goes.
second
Hold
most
on.
Common.
Here we
I
go.
already did it.
Oh, you did
I
it.
already did the
Okay.
most racist joke I could come up with. Work at Home Depot.
You could
Yeah.
do better than that.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, learn it, and then we're gonna kick you out of this country.
There you go. No, I would say, don't be a fool. Google it. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
Google Translate also, by the way. So what are you going to do? Just write your vows, put it into Google Translate, and you'll be a hero.
By the way, why would you even promise that to the
Oh,
family?
that's a big
That's
promise.
crazy.
That's you're setting up a disaster.
How
for
about
yourself.
I'll take care of your daughter the rest of my life?
Yes.
We're done. I'm going to take care of your daughter the rest of my life, and
Pick up
I'm
a
going to
native
learn a
language.
language so I can speak fluently for 3 days.
Ugh, that's
Fuck that.
Yeah, you're setting
what?
yourself. You're
What a
being
bitch.
real silly face.
You already got it. Like, why even?
Why dive in? Why set up yourself for failure?
Yeah, you put a ring on it. It's over. You did it.
End game.
Why negotiate to? Ugh.
Put a pinata up, and you'll be fine at the wedding, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you want to be a real Spaniard? Stab somebody like
There it is.
at the wedding.
I was
There it is.
waiting for
Okay,
it.
there we go.
There you go. We'll cut that
Give somebody
one.
a good stabbing.
We'll cut the pinata and that one. Good luck, my friend. Or should I say, buena loque? Is that how you say good luck? Buena.
How do you say goodbye again?
Adios.
Adios.
Yeah.
Adios.
But how do you say buena fortuna?
Buena fortuna.
Buena fortuna. No, that's Italian. How do you say good luck? Go to Google Translate. This is what I'm talking about. Go to Google Translate. How do you say good luck? in
Buena
Spanish?
suerte.
Buena suerte,
Hey.
amigo. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
How do you say dum-dum in Spanish?
Idiote.
Idiota.
Idiote. I mean, I would never promise anybody that.
No, that's an
crazy.
idiot. That's an idiote.
And you know what I'm going to do?
Here we go.
I'm going to learn your language. Why?
I'll tell you something.
I guarantee they speak English.
For the next episode, I'm going to learn Korean, and we're going to do the whole episode with me speaking Korean.
But
That's as plausible as that guy right there. That's as plausible as the promise that fella made. Old lady, whoever.
I would love to take. I'm sure there's got to be an AI program where you could take an episode,
100%, it just
put it in,
translates.
and then have them dub you speaking in Korean. We should put that out and then subtitle in
That'd be so
English.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of our fans could do it. I'm sure somebody could do that. Give us a clip. Give us a clip. Give us this clip
of us speaking
of us
dubbed in
speaking
Korean.
dubbed in Korean.
Yeah, but both of us like in a female Korean accent.
Okay, sounds great.
안녕하세요.
See, what,
감사합니다.
are you just repeating tonight's specials? What is what are we saying? Is that I'll take the beef?
Oh my God.
That
Okay.
was-
What's our next question?
Yes, let's go to the next one.
Chrissy asks, I just moved to Italy. How do you deal with
Cool.
being away from family when they can't afford to come visit?
That was racist. You pointed to me when they said I just moved to Italy. I live in America.
You're Italian.
What do I do with my family when they live so far away?
When they can't afford to come visit. so.
Gotcha. You got rid of them, so you win the game. What are you
Yeah.
worried about? Yeah. You want to see them? I mean, you got FaceTime now. These questions, I mean, these people that FaceTime, they got
Expedia.com.
Expedia.com. You bundle it. You get a rental car for cheap, right? You
Bundle
can
it.
bundle, get a hotel.
Fly
for
when
less.
nobody else is fly, like on September 11th.
Yeah, that's when you get
Nobody's
big-
flying on
big deals.
September
Nobody's
11th.
doing that anymore.
The rates go down.
Yeah.
Fly out there.
Yeah, there you go. These are all great suggestions. I would say for your family, there's a big adjustment when you move away from your family. So I moved to California, so I just don't live with my family anymore. So when I moved, did you ever live away from your family? Yeah, when you moved to New York, but you were in your 20s, right?
Yeah, but my folks were here.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
when I lived in California,
Gotcha.
going to school in Ohio.
Right, you've done that
yeah.
stuff. So with school, I wouldn't count college.
Yeah, probably
I
not.
would say that. But I do think when you live away, you just have to get used to your new normal of you don't live with them anymore. And that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it, and then it makes the time together even better, I think.
100%, but it's
Yeah.
also part of the norm.
Yeah,
It's
for
like
sure.
you are an adult now,
Yeah.
and you're there for either love or occupation, or love and occupation.
Yep.
And they understand you're doing what you need to do in terms of your life. So I'm sure that they're supportive, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like of course you want to communicate. FaceTime, like you said, videos, texting. It's so much more accessible than before. But yeah, like when you do have those opportunities, 100%. And the great thing is, like, you get to be an ambassador on behalf of a country that, maybe they're not too privy or
They're going to want to
familiar
come
with.
visit. You're in Italy.
It's
gonna be-
amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are going to want to come see you, It's funny because I wonder what the statistics are of people that move away from their family. Because in the U.S., it's quite the norm.
Yeah.
Where the kids won't live in the same state or same place as their parents. and stuff,
Becoming
but-
more normal.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think like if you go to South American countries or European or even African countries, do people stay with their
They don't live in the same house.
I think that's not what I was trying to say.
Well, tend to a bedroom in Guatemala or
But
Honduras.
that's what
or-
I'm saying.
yeah.
No, that's just frugal. Talk about bundling. I'm thinking about like I don't think it's as normal in other societies to move away from your family. Your parents are normally with you
Sure.
till death. I know that's for sure. Like my wife's Lebanese and a lot of her family over there, like they've all lived together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of an American-ish, or maybe even European too. But I think that's the minority of the world. I think does that.
Yeah, look, again, another example of how like spoiled we are as a country,
Yeah.
that you have so much accessibility to so many opportunities. And as much as some people can knock this country, it's like there are a plethora of, tech, West Coast,
Yeah.
finance, East Coast, agriculture. I mean,
Everything else
it's
in the middle,
There's
yeah, yeah.
so much,
Yeah, for sure.
and this country is so all-encompassing. Even in Florida, you look at. There's people that make six figures cleaning pools because so many people have pools, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a real industry. So I just think, to your point, it's like there's ample opportunity as opposed to, some countries like, for example, like in Korea, to your point with Bessie, like my mom's family would all have lived together, or they would all have lived together in New Jersey, and then slowly branch out once you get to America. Yeah.
I think, like you die with your parents, right? You die with your family. Like everybody's in together in the same, same village, same city, same whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's because like in America, right? You think about it, you're like, I'll figure it out when I get there. I want to move to Boston. I heard Boston's a great place to live. What are you going to do? I don't know. I'll apply for a job when I get there.
Yeah.
You end up as a waiter but you figure out those kind of things. I don't know how much that opportunity, I could be very small-minded. I'm not sure either, but I just do think that families stay together in other countries more than here in America.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay. Yeah. And while they're there, you're in Italy, get some raviolis. They're delicious. We got time for one more. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor asks, it's very short. Yay or nay on work relationships?
Nay.
I go yay.
Yay.
Me and Bessie worked together. I married her and had children.
Okay. It depends. Where'd you guys work though?
Giggle, the baby store.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Was that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Retail. I worked in retail. I would say retail and restaurant relationships. Working and those things happen very, very easily.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. There's like a social dynamic to
100%.
working in a restaurant as opposed to
Corporate America.
if you're
Yeah.
working a corporate job, absolutely not.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of tough. Yeah. Yeah, having to be like
Because you're going to lose your job. Then there's that stigma that follows you, and then you're going to go to another job and you're going to ask for reference. It's like, well, why'd you get fired? Because I couldn't get my dick in my pants at Merrill Lynch. It's like,
Yeah.
you're
I was
you're
banging
gone.
Merrill and Lynch. I was Saks in Fifth Avenue. You know what I'm saying? I do think by industry. But look, love is love, right? If you find it, if your heart's getting spoken to wherever you're at, you can't let your job.
But dating, that's the
Dating is different. Yeah.
I always thought, like, I always hated when comics hooked up with, I should say hate, but I always frowned upon comics hooking up with, like, wait staff when you're on the road. It's like, guy, why? There's 200 strangers out there you could meet and talk to.
Yeah.
And these girls are getting hit on every week, and you're going to make it uncomfortable, and the manager's going to hear about it, and it's going to be an awful situation. Just like, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
my mentality. So if you're at work, like, unless it's, like, undeniable, I guess.
For sure.
It's like, why? Why would you even tempt fate?
I think I do think the best part about it is to be kind of open to. I remember when the CEO of my company pulled me in to talk to her about me and Bessie,
Yeah.
and she like confronted me about it, and I was honest and said, yeah, we're dating. She was taken back a little bit, being like, oh, you are? And I was like, yeah. I was like, we expect me to lie to you? Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, how does that work? And I was like, well, it's long distance. She was in California, I was in New York, blah blah blah. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, I said, it's not a problem. I mean, she doesn't report to me,
Right.
whatever. I said, but if you have any questions about anything, fine. It's,
Yeah.
And then it was just an interesting thing to have to like report it. You know what I mean? Like there's all those
Yeah.
kind of HR things about that. And I think that kind of stuff is just, look, it's frowned upon. I think it used to be more frowned upon, but now there's all sorts of like, as long as you like pronounce your love to the company, like as long as you come out and say it and whatever, if you're not
Right.
doing it sneaky behind closed doors kind of thing,
Yeah.
I think it's way more, it's worse if you get found out. Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
worse if you get found out instead of versus being like, hey, we started dating. Who do I need to talk to about this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's way worse if you get found out.
But if you want to bang while you're working, just pizza delivery,
Pizza delivery, 100%.
UPS,
Plumbers.
plumber,
Yep.
prison guard in the UK.
100%. This is where all of it happens.
Yeah.
This is for
All
sure.
of it.
Yeah.
Those are my suggestions.
Those are the top jobs for, we Googled it.
For just
Those are the
banging.
top jobs for,
to have sex
yes,
on
it's-
the clock.
on the clock loving.
Yeah. MTA worker here in New York, they got busted recently. So there's another one.
I guess it does happen a lot if you're able to name this many.
Why not?
Yeah. I would say follow your heart, but also watch yourself on these streets. And that's our episode. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's Two Cool Moms. We love you guys. We love that you stick with us, and it's been so much fun doing this podcast. I love it, and I love you, Stevie.
Love you, buddy.
And come see us live. We're on the road.
Yes.
JoeGattoOfficial.com for tickets to come see me.
Punchup.live. Steve Byrne to see me. And by the way, it was so awesome to just even talk like 80s and 90s sitcoms. So let us know what your favorite sitcoms are too.
That's
on our
great.
Socials. That'd
Yes.
be awesome.
Yes.
And let us know who your favorite TV moms or dads are.
I wonder what people are saying about the best TV moms. I would
Best
love to.
TV
I would love
moms?
to see that. If people comment under the post here, I would love to see what
This is
they're doing.
Partridge.
Ugh,
The fuck?
she was a bitch. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys. These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us. Follow us on all social media and subscribe to our YouTube.